On this episode of China Uncensored, would you accept an apology 40 years late? Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your confessor, Chris Chappell. So, would you accept an apology from someone over 40 years after the fact? I bet most of you would say no, but I like to think there's always a chance left for redemption, no matter how long it takes. This is a letter that appeared in what the South China Morning Post calls the mainland's most outspoken political magazine, the Yanhuang Chunqiu. To give you an idea of what kind of magazine this is, in January, authorities shut down their website for an editorial crazily suggesting the Communist Party should guarantee the rights under the country's constitution, a document the party itself came up with. In this letter, a former Red Guard named Liu Boqing apologizes for his actions during the Cultural Revolution. The Cultural Revolution was a political and cultural movement that's most often paired with the words spasm of violence. The pen is mightier than the sword, especially when enlarged and wielded like a spear. The Red Guards were basically a paramilitary movement of kids set in motion by Mao Zedong to wipe out, well, anything he didn't really like, and that guy really didn't like a lot of stuff. Especially if it had anything to do with China's cultural traditions. You know, outrageous things like respecting your elders or protecting centuries-old Buddhist temples. So the Red Guards, this guy was in middle school when he was a member, basically did a lot of really horrible things. In his letter, he says he apologizes for the criticisms of his school teacher and principal, raiding the homes of his classmates and causing terrible damage to others. Now, criticism, or denounce, is the official translation of pido, something that was at the core of the Cultural Revolution, but I feel that criticism just doesn't capture all the flavor of the word. Good thing there's a whole lot of footage of what went down in a criticism session. The crimes committed by the Red Guards are still a sensitive issue in China. Back in March, Qiu Ren, an 80-year-old man, was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for a murder he participated in over 30 years ago when he was a Red Guard. You see, back then, doctors were considered class enemies, along with people like professors and anyone with a decent amount of education. Gives you an idea of the general level of sanity these guys had. So, Qiu and some others ambushed a doctor on his way to treat a patient, strangled him with a rope, broke his legs so the corpse would fit into the sack they stuffed the body, and buried it. The trial lasted a day. But the funny thing is, decades after the fact, schlubs like Qiu get prison time, but the Communist Party itself hasn't really been made to answer for any of its crimes. A prominent Chinese law professor recently revealed that the Chinese regime has ordered university professors not to discuss certain vile, despicable topics not fit for the ears of students, called the 7 Speak-Nots. Universal values, citizens' rights, civil society, judicial independence, freedom of the press, the privileged capitalist class, and past mistakes of the Communist Party. So congratulations, Mr. Liu Boqing. You're officially braver than the entire Communist Party. He owned up to what he did, saying that while it happened because of the Cultural Revolution, he is still personally responsible for his own actions. So what do you guys think? Is his apology too late? And do you think the Chinese Communist Party should start owning up to some of its crimes? Comment below and keep watching for more China Uncensored.